I've made a lot of videos about the VITURE Beast, which I think at this point goes without saying that these are easily my favorite XREAL glasses on the market right now. And that's not just based on hype, but on real long-term use, having used them for over 6 months at this point. And believe it or not, I literally use them every single day for a lot of different things. Gaming with my handheld PC, writing video scripts for this channel, using them sometimes for video editing and even for watching movies or catching up on YouTube while casually going for a walk or just doing some things around the house. They are so versatile that I honestly don't leave the house without taking these glasses along with me. But as much as I already love the VITURE Beast on its own, I've always believed that the real magic with XREAL glasses is not just the glasses themselves, but what happens when you pair them with the right accessory, or let's say the right ecosystem around them. And that's exactly where this comes in, the INAIR Elite Suite. Now, for those of you who don't know what a suite actually is, the easiest way to think about it is like a portable spatial computer setup. It's basically trying to give you a more flexible laptop-like experience, but without being tied to the usual limitations of a traditional laptop. So instead of having the screen, the keyboard, and the computer all built into one body, this setup breaks those parts into separate components that still work together as one system. The glasses becomes the display, the pod becomes the brain of the whole setup, and the touchboard keyboard becomes your main way of interacting with everything, although technically you can still control a lot of the system directly from the INAIR pod itself. And by the way, the pod also runs its own operating system called the INAIR OS, which is basically Android based. But on top of that, it also gives you the ability to remotely access your laptop or your PC from wherever you are. Now, I will come to that in a bit because that's where 2 other accessories in the pack starts becoming important and make that remote access experience feel much more seamless. And just so you know, I've already done, a dedicated review of the INAIR pod itself before, in combination with the VITURE Luma Ultra. And trust me, that was an incredible experience. But recently, INAIR pushed a new firmware update that now supports the VITURE Beast. And guys, the experience is way better than I expected. It literally feels like everything I already love about the VITURE Beast just got even better, right? And for this video, that's exactly what I'm going to be using. The VITURE Beast XREAL glasses in combination with the INAIR Elite Suite. So I can show you in real time how this whole setup actually works. Now mind you, when you pair the Beast with the INAIR pod for the first time, you do lose the native in-glasses control from the VITURE Beast. You lose the ability to switch display modes the way you normally would with other devices, and you also lose access to the built-in menu. But not to worry, you still have access to the electrochromic dimming, which is also called the transmittance, I think. And of course, you also keep the part that matters most with these glasses. That huge 174-inch retro display floating in front of you, as well as the 1200p resolution and that 120Hz refresh rate. And trust me, the overall visual environment still looks fantastic. Plus now, everything about 3D is handled on the INAIR pod a bit differently, but it honestly looks amazing. And now, of course, there are definitely advantages and disadvantages to this setup compared to a traditional laptop or PC, and that's mostly going to depend on who you are and what you plan to do with it, right? But to start with the biggest advantage, it has to be the multiple virtual display that you have at your disposal. With a traditional laptop, you get one fixed physical display, but with this setup, you can get up to 6 virtual displays. And not only that, you can also adjust the size, distance, and brightness to whatever feels comfortable for you. And the beautiful part of the whole thing is that these windows just keeps wrapping around you. And with the VITURE Beast, it feels even more immersive, especially when you have, of course, the electrochromic fill turned on. You also have an inbuilt AI that you can interact with, and it actually works pretty well. And of course, the experience overall is going to vary depending on what glasses you pair it with. But with the VITURE Beast, I think the result is honestly incredible. Partly because of the 1200p resolution, the 1250 nits of brightness, and the 3DoF anchor mode. And by the way, I've gone well over an hour, sometimes 2 hours wearing the Beast with this setup, and I've had no issues whatsoever. The clarity is excellent, the text is easy to read, and the whole thing feels surprisingly natural once you settle in. And to be honest, even if you don't get the full Elite Suite and only use the pod itself, the experience still doesn't feel restricted, right? Now, speaking of restrictions, this is where the other two accessories comes in that I spoke about earlier, the INAIR Wakey and the charging adapter. Now, the charging adapter is pretty straightforward, right? It basically lets you charge the pod while using it. Although, to be fair, the pod on, full charge already gives you a bit over 2 hours of use. So it's not like you're always going to need, to stay near a wall outlet all the time. Now, the Wakey, on the other hand, is a bit more interesting. What it basically does is give you remote access to your main computer no matter where you are, even if you're not on the same Wi-Fi network. Now, the way it works is that the INAIR pod connects to the Wakey, and Wakey stays connected to the internet and then to your computer setup, allowing it to easily wake up your PC from sleep so that you can log in remotely and access whatever you need. So in theory, you could be somewhere else entirely wearing your glasses and still tap into your computer back at home. Personally, I do have a few concerns there, mainly around security. But my biggest concern is that your PC basically has to remain available for this to work. You can put it to sleep, yes, but you just can't shut it down. Kind of similar to how the PS Portal works with the PS5, right? But still, the main point is that it works. And once connected, that remote desktop just becomes one more of your floating virtual display, which is honestly pretty amazing. Now, I also have to mention that this setup is not really built for gaming, right? It's much more suited for text-based work, media consumption, and general productivity. Of course, you can do some cloud gaming if you want, but personally, I wouldn't really use it for that. Now, I've also tested the INAIR 2 Pro glasses, which is built for the suit, which I actually found very interesting because of the different resolution and the way the whole experience feels, but I think I'm going to save that for a dedicated video. So the question now is that, would I use this setup over a traditional laptop? Honestly, I can immediately think of a lot of ways a traditional laptop would still be better. For one, we're already used to them, right? They're familiar, predictable, and everything is physically there in front of you, and you don't have to think much about how to interact with it. But when you actually try something like the VITURE Beast with this INAIR Elite Suite, it genuinely feels like you're getting a glimpse of what the future of work could actually look like. And then on top of that, you get total privacy. You don't need more physical space, and you're not bothering anyone around you. And if the focus is mainly on media and entertainment, then honestly, I don't think a traditional laptop even comes close. This is by far the better spatial experience. You basically have your own private cinema, and when it comes to things like 3D movies, the experience is undeniable. Now, the only real downside I see here is the bulkiness of the whole setup. And for that reason, I do think, the Air 2 Go, that pack is more compact and more portable overall. Although, to be fair, I think the Elite Suite was designed this way to feel more like a full laptop replacement. And in that context, the larger case and accessories makes more sense. But personally, if I'm not going to be typing or doing anything that really needs a keyboard, then for me, the VITURE Beast and the INAIR pod alone would actually be enough. That said, I still do think that the idea of being able to store everything neatly in one single case is amazing. And for those of you who already have the VITURE Beast or let's say the Luma Ultra, trust me, these can absolutely make your glasses even more enjoyable. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Is this something that you would like to try out, or maybe you already have? Let us know your experience in the comment section below. And if you're interested in getting any of the components in this video, I'll have links below, plus of course discount code to get 10% off whichever one you choose. And if you do end up using my link, please definitely let me know in the comment section below so I can properly thank you, because that really does go a long way in supporting this channel and the work that I put into this video. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with others. And if you want to check out my other XR related videos, especially when I compare the VITURE Beast to the XREAL 1 Pro, then of course click on this video right here. Okay, and with that said, my name is Samson. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.